All right, post-race week. Usually I pull the clutch to do an inspection, but we've got, and we struggled with this during the week, and I've gotten started here, but this header bolt, let me zoom in on it. Way down in that hole, the most furthest back one, it seems like the stud is pulling out. So I don't really want to pull the head, and with the transmission out, it's really easier just to pull the motor. This thing will come out with the turbos and everything on it. I'm just going to lift it straight up. So working on that now. Probably should have filmed all this stuff coming out, but clutch, boost tubing, throttle body, various other stuff. So just going to keep working, getting this thing out here shortly. All right, I kind of designed a lot of this stuff to come out pretty quick and easy, including I have these Canon plugs here for the wiring harness. There's only 2 plugs I have to undo from under the car and toss up. And like these vibrant quick disconnects here for the boost tubes. Dude, these things are amazing. It just makes it so much easier to do work on this thing. Again, I don't have to pull the radiator. I don't have to pull the intercooler. I don't have to pull any of that stuff to pull the motor out. Just disconnect water lines. Transmission obviously makes it easier. And exhaust, but only half of the downpipes. Like you can't, yeah, you can see them here. These upper ones stay on, the back halves come off, and then the whole motor is just gonna come out. Grab the engine stand. Coming down. Oop, okay. All right. Grab the engine stand. I'm gonna turn this off so I don't fall down the stairs. All right, got it on the engine stand. And I can't tell you how nice it is to be able to pull it with the turbos and everything on it. Makes it so much easier. So now I can show you. The reason I pulled it is because it seems like this bolt right here, the stud's pulling out. We had an exhaust leak. You can see around here it was causing issues. So we'll get that fixed. All right, so just loosening up this V-band down here, and this whole turbo and downpipe is gonna come right off. Maybe. There we go. It's on there. There it is. Okay. Let me get the nut all the way off. So much easier when you have 4 sets of hands instead of just 2. There you go. Should come off now.
Connected.
Oh, forgot one. Oil line for the turbo feed. You don't want to just hang it by that line, I don't think. So, and these are actually little filters so that if something was to come apart in the motor, it's not going to go in there and trash the turbo. Except it doesn't want to come off easy. There you go. All right. Yeah, so those are the turbo feeds, and those are filters. So now we're going to pop this header off, deal with this, and then this valve cover stud was also pulling out. Now, I got the JB weld out and welded it before we left, but we're still going to check it, make sure it's good. All right, here's what we found. So when we went through these heads last time, I intentionally put time certs in each one of these ports. Well, this one you can see pulled out. So we're going to have to use a larger one. It's called a max cert, right? Yeah, a max cert is what we're going to use to fix that, and hopefully that will take care of the issue. All right, we've ordered the Big Sert because the time cert is what pulled out, so the Big Sert is the next one up. So while this is off, I'm just going to pull plugs, probably just reset the gap on them, make sure everything's good. Oh shit, this is not good. Porcelain is broken on this plug. So that's NG. So I have this cool spark plug holder. Yeah, okay. Not a good sign. Not broken. Good sign. Not broken. Not broken. All right, let's look at this. Okay. So at first when I saw it, I thought the ground strap was smashed into the electrode, but it's actually not. So it just cracked, well, broke the electrode, but it looks like, I'm not sure if there's a piece missing. I'll put get a camera down in that cylinder. The porcelain's really nasty stuff because you would think it would just get smashed up into powder, but it's so hard. Like, that doesn't happen. It's bad. So, yeah, I'll pull the other plugs and we'll check back. All right, here's what we got. And this is kind of unfortunate for the small block Ford, but the aftermarket header bolts, the factory ones are these guys here. The aftermarket ones go across like that. This is the one that's stripped out, but that falls right in line with the valve cover stud too. You can see right there, it's coming through. And this one is also stripped out. So now we have to get a Big Sert, which is larger than a time cert, which is going to open that up a little bit, which will give us even less depth here. But we're going to try to figure it out. I'm just going to have to not tighten the valve covers like a gorilla anymore. So, and I'm not sure yet on this cracked porcelain. So it did close. You can see here it cracked the porcelain on this plug. I can pull it apart there. You can see it. But it did crack it, and it also closed the gap up a little bit on that plug, which is a little concerning. And the plug is a lot wider than all the others. Now, we did street driving on this, obviously, so I think what I'm going to do is get one of those fuel injector test stands and cleaners, because maybe that number 8 injector isn't flowing like it should and cause it to get lean, and maybe it detonated a little bit, enough to crack the plug and maybe hit the gap. I don't know. We're thinking, but we may have got lucky because it didn't melt anything down, because if it goes real lean, that would be bad. And on the drive, we were seeing was it 100, 200 degrees sometimes, higher EGTs. So that's an indication too that that cylinder's lean. So I think it's a good plan to check these injectors. I'll keep you posted. Hello, Amazon. All right.
I can back it out.
That's okay. Just filmed, or didn't film the original part, but this is called a Big Sert. It's like a time Sert. This is just a bigger version because we already ripped out the other one.
Come on, stay, damn you. We may have to stake that.
Yeah. Well, let me get a... All right, so we're using this repair kit called a Big Sert. It's like a, I don't know, helicoil on massive steroids.
No, I don't want to do it yet.
Like it's way better.
We don't want to do this yet.
Okay. Do we want to do the top one?
Correct.
Okay. So you drill this and tap it like you normally would, but in our strange case here, because of the heads I have, the exhaust port things are turned a bit, and this hole now intersect, and this one's stripped out too, so we have to do a time Sert there as well. So we'll get that. Okay, so we're gonna do one for this hole. So you're gonna drill it with the bit that's included. Yep, and we actually already drilled it, just forgot to film it. My fault. But we use the bit that's included, and then you use this, what's a reamer?
Well, it's a counterbore.
Counterbore. Oops, oh, hold on. Okay, and then he's gonna counterbore the top of that. And that's so that the insert sits just below the surface. So yeah, we're gonna try to keep a bunch of metal out of the motor. Let me use the air hose here, shoot that out of there. All right, so counter bore, and you can see these two are connected, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. It just means that this one's not going to be as deep. In fact, we're probably going to have to cut down the insert so it's not quite as deep. Now we're going to tap that hole so that the Big Sert has something to go into, kind of like the OD of a helicoil, but these are way better. And if we look down in there, we should be able to see it coming through. Yeah, it's right there. It's all the way through. And the repair of these two, that's the whole reason I pulled the motor. It really isn't that bad once the transmission's out, but this would have been really hard to do with it in the car. So that's why I have it out. All right, take two. We're using a jam nut on it now because it wanted to back out when we tried to get it in there all the way. Nice. Should work. In theory. Yay, look at that. All right, there's a Big Sert right there. That should do it. Now I only should torque that header stud to what, 85 foot-pounds?
That would be funny.
That would not be funny because we don't have any more room to repair this beyond this. Taking just a little bit off of that Sert because if you look in there, I don't know if you can see it, but the other one intersects that, so we don't have all the depth. But the one thing I forgot to do is when we pulled this motor is Engine's pulled. Have to add a hash mark right there. There we go. That thing's paying for itself. Okay, so we got it. That one's in,
Yes,
and that one's
correct.
in. They do
Absolutely.
intersect, but we may have to grind the stud here just a little bit. This one's more critical, so we might have to grind that one. All right, we got this all reinstalled here. Plugs in it. Going to stick it back in. I'm waiting for filter baskets go in the end of those injectors. I'm waiting for those to show up, and then I can put the injectors back in. But we're gonna swing this thing back in there.